What's going on, guys? SickBubbleGum here. I've had a few of you ask me in stream about the skill system for the game Elyon, so I thought I'd help. Let's get started. In order to get stronger in Elyon, you are going to have to focus on upgrading your gear. It is not going to be the same conventional system you are used to, however. Elyon uses a rune system, which is your main source of power, and the gear just simply acts as a vessel to accommodate more runes, depending on how far you're able to enhance it. Adding runes to your gear will give you various increase in stats along with additional skill points and rune talent points, which we'll go over shortly. Now, in order to upgrade these rune stones beyond tier 1 to get additional skill points as well as additional rune trait, you will need to have some things such as gold, additional runes to slam together, and some rune power. Rune power can be found by disassembling any rune stones you find and do not want, as well as equipment that you find throughout the world and dungeons. Once you've added runes to your armor, press J on the keyboard to bring up the rune traits. Now keep in mind, depending on what tier runes you've added in, as well as the color and how many you've added, is how many rune traits you're going to have in each particular category. Rune traits serve a very important role within this game. Keep in mind you are going to get things such as damage modifiers, attack modifiers, proc chances, as well as experience gain and item gain, self-sustain, protection, and trade modifiers. I personally recommend focusing on the yellow first and trying to go straight to 33-2. This is going to allow you to have an additional 9 rune traits in each category, which will really boost your character early on. What's great about the rune trait system is you can swap it without any use of an item or gold. Just simply swap, select, and save. This is going to allow you to change things on the fly while doing PvE and PvP. Keep in mind, if you are in combat, you will not be able to save it until you're out of combat. Once you finish selecting the rune traits that you think are going to best serve your build as well as playstyle, press K on the keyboard to bring up your core skills. These core skills are going to be used for both PvE and PvP content and can be unlocked all the way up to level 40. After that, you'll be able to modify them, which we'll go over shortly. Once you finish selecting the skills that you want and dragging them to the bar below, you can save a preset. Now keep in mind, these can be renamed to whatever you want. You can have them for PvE, PvP, healing, tanking, etc. And you just hit the save button to save the skill selection you have, as well as the different characteristics for each skill. If you need more slots, you can buy more using gold. Keep in mind, the more you get, the more expensive it's going to get. In order to swap these presets on the fly, you will need to be out of combat and have no existing cooldowns. Now to change the core skills, you can use characteristics. Each skill has 4 characteristics total, making a total of 96 possible skills. These characteristics have a potential to change the skill completely or add additional benefits. An example of this is the Shadow Raid skill, which can be found on the Assassin. Now keep in mind, this is normally a short dash with a follow-up chain skill, which also stuns. If we spend 12 points, we can change it so there's more power as well as distance to that skill. If we spend 20 points, it allows for 2 additional charges. 27 points allows for an AoE charge, which also increases the damage and knocks up the enemy. And 42 points allows us to charge forward, leaving an energy tornado, which does damage over time and eventually explodes, stunning all enemies in its path. Now, in order to get the blue characteristic for a skill, it can either be achieved by clearing a zone and getting it as a reward, or what you can do is you can go to a main town and buy them from a vendor. Keep in mind, they do cost 10,000 gold, and even if you unlock the core skill, you may need to be a higher level to actually purchase it. As for the purple, this can be obtained by defeating a field boss or dimensional boss within the world. Now keep in mind, you will need to have high level runes to accommodate for these skill points. As you can see, the purple requires 42 points. I currently have 107 with my current loadout, so it's really important to focus on leveling your runes up to allow for additional points, allowing you to have a stronger build. Once you have finished selecting your skills and you're happy with your loadout, it's time to do one more step, which is bring up the dimensional portal. This starts at level 35 and allows you to get mana XP, which we'll use for the mana tree. Now, keep in mind there is a total of 1 hour. It doesn't matter how many dungeons you enter or which ones you enter, you only have a total of 1 hour to be in there. This allows you to get additional gear as well as runestones, scrolls, and enhancement materials, and can cater all the way up to 49 plus. Once you have finished in the dimensional portal, hopefully you have some mana XP or even some mana levels. Press H on the keyboard to bring up your mana tree. What's great about this is it's another additional benefit to your build. It's going to add even more diversity by introducing things such as your ultimate abilities, additional passives, and additional active abilities. It also adds modifiers to existing skills. An example of this is if you have a projectile type build, you're now able to shoot 2 projectiles instead of 1 projectile. Doesn't matter if you're an elementalist, mystic, gunslinger, or anything like that, it will apply to you. What's great about this is it's going to add even more diversity to the PvP world. Anyways, guys, that's everything for now. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave any comments down below if you have any questions. And I'll be covering a lot of Elyon content, so make sure you check out my Twitch channel as I'll be streaming Elyon quite regularly.